sacrifice that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you've
Why we
already
still
got me
sacrificing,
mentally.
man? Why we
I'm
still
in a mental
sacrificing?
space where I was about to kill this kid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no. Go ahead and get that ram that I trapped in the bushes. And the ram probably looking at it like, what the fuck? I just hell.
yeah, it's wild, man. When you get to reading, if you're reading it literally and you're not picking up on the messaging, boy, it's a wild ride. It's a
It
wild
is.
ride.
New Testament, everybody. I'm sorry. Now, trust me, when you get to Revelations, you're probably gonna look at me like, Ballin, shut the fuck up, because this ain't cool. I get it. There's some stuff in that
I never got
Revelation.
into the book of Revelation. Probably because,
Ooh,
I grew up in that old Baptist thing that said that you don't really read that too much. So I don't know. I just never got into it.
ooh, I had to dwell in
No,
Revelation.
there's like a school of thought that basically says unless you are really steeped in the word, you don't touch that book because you can get distracted or led astray because it'll go over your head, right? Now, I don't really believe in all of that, but I do see where the messaging can come from because I do believe that when you are reading the Bible, the Quran, whatever your religious text is, the reason why it's always saying something different to you every time you pick it up is because it's written in such a way that you can always attach yourself to something and get something out of it that can help you. So if you are still on milk, like the Jesus story to me is milk, right? The resurrection and the call to discipleship, that's like bread. And then the book of Revelation, the meat, right? You can't give a baby meat. You gotta help
You know
them,
what I mean?
grow.
Okay, the church that I went to, we really did have to study Revelations. I mean, they really had a class on Revelations, but and y'all, if y'all can find a church like this, cool. I haven't seen it lately because y'all use Revelations like they're here now. But
That's
we
one
were,
reason I never mess with it because people always go to
yeah,
the doomsday theory. We're in the last days. We've been in the
yeah.
last days since the first day, the way y'all talk.
Our Revelations was used for a warning. Like I want you to study Revelations as a warning. Like when you see this, then you know this is going to happen. So I need you to study Revelations. And I'm studying Revelations backwards and forwards. And trust me, when you really study Revelation, we ain't nowhere near the crap that's in that book. Trust me.
But
You
that's
think
just
you
it.
are? Look, if you looked at Obama as the Antichrist, shut the fuck up if you know about the Bible. It ain't
But
that
see,
ain't what that was.
that's one of my issues with religious people. There's a certain level of arrogance that religion puts into you, where everybody thinks their generation is that magical generation, right? Horrible things happen
Mm,
all the time throughout
mm,
history. So I remember when we were going through what was it, the Middle Eastern War, Desert Shield, right? Those ones. And people were talking about these are the last days because the war's kicking off in the Middle East and this is it. But I'm like, bad as this is, why do you think these are the last days? Because I'm pretty sure the people who lived through World War II and the Great Depression, pretty sure they thought they were in the last days. Pretty sure the people in the Dust Bowl might have thought they were in the last days. Pretty sure the people in slavery thought these were some last days. So it's like if you, and I hate that we always end up here, but
we're, we're,
if
we're,
you
we're not
believe,
even going to talk about the Great Depression where people literally committed unaliving because they couldn't
because of
handle,
money
yeah,
and stuff,
and,
meanwhile it was
and
it
stuff.
was Tuesday for us. It was
Pretty
Tuesday.
much, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Y'all
you
was
know,
y'all was going through some emotional roller coaster of feelings that you couldn't handle, so you decided to throw yourself out of a glass window. Which, by the way, thank you very much, because that's why they double pane glass windows and put plastic in the middle, so you actually can't even do that anymore. I'm being facetious, but that literally, literally, I listened to a builder. That literally is the reason why they do it now.
they do reinforced glass up there. They got to.
They do
But
reinforced
yeah,
glass because of it.
yeah. But I'm with you. But I'm just saying, it's like I got into this conversation once with one of my dear relatives who is very much into that whole, you know. And I'm like, but if you believe, you actually believe, not you say you believe, but that quiet conversation that you can have only with yourself.
Mhm.
If you truly believe that God is what you say God is and heaven is what you say heaven is, why are you always so afraid? Because if you truly believe that the other side is better than this side, you wouldn't be afraid. You wouldn't you wouldn't run from conflict. You wouldn't do any of those things. You would just move on along your life, trusting God, and if you died, you died, and you would count it as a blessing, right? But you don't, which is proof that you don't really believe the way you say you do. And then, if God is the author and the finisher, and He knows your steps, He knows before you even get there, and you trust Him, again, why are you doing some of the stuff you're doing? It doesn't the math ain't math then,
I read a
right?
Reddit, I read a Reddit story the other day. I don't know how true it is, because take my word for it, people. Reddit is one of the places where people can give their experiences in life, or they come up with the best authors on the planet. So we don't know which direction this is. But there was a story where a guy said is an atheist. And I'm cool with them people too. I'm not controller of you. Sorry, I'm just not. I'm not that person. You respect me, I respect you, and we're done. But he was an atheist, and he told. I don't know if he told somebody or the story got out that he was an atheist. And the woman said, wait, you don't believe in God? And he was like, no, I don't believe in those type of things. Well, wait a minute. If you don't believe in God, why you don't all word people? Why you don't unalive people? Why you don't rob people? And the guy looked at him and go, because I'm a good person. That's disgusting. I don't want to do that. And the reason I'm telling that story is because I don't want people to keep thinking that the only reason people are not doing the things that they know is wrong is because they try to get to heaven. There are people
Yep.
who don't do things wrong because they don't want to do things that are wrong. It's
Yeah.
a
But
moral.
religion will teach you to be afraid. Like I listened to some of the lessons. See, you would think that I wouldn't even let my kids go through church and stuff, but I do. I let them go to Sunday school, go to church, all that. Because one, it helped form and fashion much of my moral code, which I believe and hold strong to. But then also, I want you to hear what people are saying. I want you to, because like I said, I teach them to challenge things, right? So when you're hearing something and it sounds that shit crazy, I need you to be able to identify that for yourself. Right? Like that don't make sense. Sell me your belief system without using fear.
No, I no,
Like that,
I agree with you.
and it
I
can
agree
be
with you,
very
Theus.
hard to do.
I agree with you, Theus. That's not how I grew up, though. That's not how I grew up. I can tell you, I get exactly what you said, and I'm gonna totally agree with you. That was just not me.
God's always watching you.
Nope,
You breaking God's heart.
nope.
You the sin, the sinning and the filthy rags and all. There's so much negative messaging, and at the same time, you also hear God is love
But here, I
and
always grew up
fruits
with
of the
this.
spirit. So
I always get this when you know damn well you can't answer the question. I know now. I mean, I knew then too, but I just didn't want to question it because of they're adults and they're the elders, and you listen to them BS. You just gotta have faith, honey. You just gotta have faith. If your
but
faith
that's
was
what
a little
that's
strong,
where people default to when they don't have an answer for you.
thank you. That was my point. That is literally my point. When they don't have an answer to your question, when you question what's going on, honey, you just gotta have faith. If your
That's when you
faith
get,
was a
oh,
little
ye of
stronger,
little faith,
if your
right? They
faith
give you
was a
the they
little
give you
stronger,
the they give
it
you the
took me a
Jesus
while to
lecture from
grow
the
up and
boat.
realize, wait a minute. So you said if I have faith, I don't have questions? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. But you're literally saying that if I had enough faith, I would not have questions.
Right, because you would trust.
So now I'm a grown man and going, the math ain't mathing, bro. The math ain't mathing. If you're big and bold, and you're talking your crap, cool beans. I'm gonna listen to you. Just make it make sense to me. That's all I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm with you. Because like this, faith is important, right? You need faith.
Yeah.
Faith is important, but faith is not the whole solution, right? I believe, and I teach my children, and God can correct me when it's time for Him to correct me, him or her, or it, however God defines itself.
Tracy is going to bed. Good night, Tracy. Sorry.
Good night, Tracy. But I'd say my God is big enough to be questioned because there's no question I could ever possibly come up with that's too big for my God. That's how I feel about it. But anyway, I'm with Tracy though. It is getting late. I think this has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
I think we had fun tonight. Got into some good stuff.
I think we're actually going to start doing this a lot more often. We're actually going to start doing a little more deeper conversations and a little less haha. But then again, I probably was doing that because we didn't have a lot of serious conversations, and now we do. So labor.
And I stopped making videos altogether. So
take my word for it, Labor Day weekend will probably be the next time we do a show like this. I guarantee you there'll be a lot more stuff coming out. Do you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, so right now, just kind of please support Marlon and Tracy and Anna and all that they do. I am not putting out any new content right now. And then as I pivot to my new endeavor, I will make occasional videos. I think what I'm going to stay with Marlon, I think I'm going to continue to do What If Theus runs for Congress, and I'll just do that, and I'll just be kind of what I do on the Complex Minds platform for those who are interested. But then on the core side, that's where I'll be doing a lot of my work.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
I'm assuming you're LGBTQ until you.
That is our show for tonight. I love that woman. Tomorrow we will be getting again into a deep dive about all the Supreme Court decisions that was made, including 2 that was made today. I'll have to make sure that I remind myself to find videos on that. Also, Parker, to answer your question about tomorrow, because I know everybody else is not interested in it except me, I will try to be back home tomorrow. Unfortunately, on a bad note, my brother-in-law lost his mother last week, and the funeral is tomorrow.
My condolences, bro.
So we're going see, but you got to understand that there are some things a lot more important than So until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
So I really don't have anything, but I mean for real though, Joseph, you made the right call, bro. Ask the questions.